Okay, so I'm just going to come back. And we're back and we're live. Okay.
Excellent. Awesome.
So I'm with Justine Galvin and I'm Debbie Sluice, and we are both Canadian coaches, and we are so excited because we're planning for an amazing 6-week group coaching program beginning January 18th. And it's at 11, what time was it start? 12 p.m. I think it was
11 a.m. Eastern,
right.
12 p.m. Atlantic.
Okay, that's where I'm getting it mixed up. So yeah, and it's going to be for 6 weeks. It's going to be just jam-packed, so powerful, because Justine is an expert in Enneagrams and I have an expertise in vision boards, and together we're going to, put this amazing program together for you to really get set, get intentional, be purposeful about your 2021. But today, Justine and I want to do some reflecting on 2020. And Justine's got some awesome questions, and so I'm going to pass over to you.
Awesome. Yeah. One of the things that I love to do anytime I hit, a milestone, whether it's a birthday or the end of the year or anything, really, is to just take stock of all that's been and look to set intention for what I want to seed for what will come. And when I think about really creating a sustainable thing, a sustainable life, a sustainable present, it's really, we have to take into account all that has been, all that is here now, and all that we're seeding for the future. And so the end of the year is a perfect time to do that. And not that it means anything significant, except that it's just a great reminder for us. So what I do have are some questions that, Debbie, I'll invite both of us to kind of wander through and chat about as we reflect on our versions of 2020. And anyone who's watching, take some time and think through some of these things. So the first one really is focusing on what has been. So let's just think through what have been the most notable moments for the year, for you, for me, for anyone watching. The thing that I love about this part is thinking about notable moments. It's not the things that are of note to everyone. It's just notable to you. So thinking through month by month, just take a moment and think, what's been most notable for me? What am I remembering? All the things every month from this year.
Did you want me to contribute to that conversation?
Of course, if you'd like to. Tell me what comes to your mind.
Well, it was actually, I think it was in January, it's December, January of this year that I gave my resignation and my notice for retirement. And then what was notable was that I had a fabulous vacation with friends. We went to Florida in February. And then when we came back, COVID hit. And so what I got to do was I got to show up as a really strong leader for my childcare team. So my background is in childcare, and I was a director of a multi-site not-for-profit organization. And pretty much I had my job. I was good at it, and it was, sort of rolling along, but wow, I got to show up in a really big way for those last few months until I was finished in July. So that was really a challenge, but also really exciting to create this new way of being as educators. For the first time, we're at home. And what I was so pleased with was our organization. We offered it professional development, and it was by invitation. So we recognized that a lot of them were mothers and maybe had other commitments. They were doing schooling remotely for their own children. So we invited them to participate in our professional development. And I would say 80% of them took advantage of that weekly. And that was so encouraging. And I I'm so proud of that organization, and really feel like it's a beautiful legacy that I got to leave behind and then step into my coaching. So
Yeah.
that's really notable and really amazing.
Awesome. Yeah, that's amazing. Isn't it? I always find it so interesting when we look back on things, what's notable, the things that are notable that come to our mind are often like the initial difficult things, the things that we wish didn't happen or that we would have actually tried to prevent otherwise. And they become these amazing change agents for us to really create and seed something brand new that we never would have saw coming. And I would echo that, Debbie, in saying that there was a lot of notable moments for me from this year that went a totally different way than I expected them to. And it's in the change that I have learned so much and had the depth of experiencing a shift in myself and my purpose, and being able to press in entirely different ways and for different groups of people. But yeah, it's funny when we think about change and how change is something that I tend to resist, and yet upon reflection is a wonderful opportunity, really, just reframed.
For sure. I offered that as a provocation on my Facebook page where I said, what's one word that sums up last year? And I've had, I think, over 300 responses, if not more. And it's interesting, like, considering that we still are in a pandemic, the difference of looking at it and the power of mindset. And like, so I was curious about some of the words that people chose, because when I first even looked at their word, I thought, oh, is that something negative, like change, for example, like you just offered, right? People
Yes.
say change, but some people could see that as, oh, it was too much change. I was overwhelmed. And other people could say, oh, the change was actually the catalyst for opportunity. And because I was forced or to change, or the events were such a way that helped me pivot to this new opportunity. So it's really interesting how that perspective and the power of our mindset supports us to create the life that we want.
Yeah. Yeah. And I've seen posts saying, although 2020 has felt like a year of difficulty, it's also like we can take great pride in the fact that we've adapted more than we ever thought we could, than we ever would have planned. We've been able to change and pivot and move and create something new in a lot of cases that no one would ever have picked necessarily. And yet that's resiliency, and that's wonderful growth. And yeah, it's absolutely notable, not only about the year and where we collectively did that, but we all as individuals found ways to really have that shine. So now let's move into another question that helps us reflect, and that really is, well, we've talked about acknowledgement, we've talked about being proud. Like, when we think about where we are now and reflecting on all of the things that we've done and pivoted and changed towards and adapted around, what do you want to acknowledge yourself for this year?
For me, I want to acknowledge myself for the fact that I've owned the title of a coach.
That's wonderful.
Pardon?
That's wonderful. It's I feel that.
And people may say, well, that's how you're showing up, Deb, on social media, but it's not how I necessarily saw and viewed myself. I saw myself as a workshop facilitator, certainly a childcare director, as I alluded to before. However, with the additional, I've taken 2 programs this year, and just the experience, and now with the results that clients are getting, I'm like, I am a coach, and it feels really great to own that. And I can't wait to see what's going to happen in 2021 with that business. How about you? What would you know yourself for?
I think What's been most notable and what I would acknowledge myself for is I want to call it like a relentless pursuit of my own self, and being brave enough to see the parts of myself that I wasn't ready to see before, and really taking it on as a journey, exploring my emotions, feeling like I've been more present with my thoughts, feelings, and stories in a way that has heightened my awareness. And yeah, I want to acknowledge the journey that's been like, and the strength that it's taken to stay with it and be present with the work, and the sort of both wonderful and scary pieces that we go through when we see ourselves, how we really show up, who we are, and really look to take ourselves on.
Beautiful. So I think that's a really great resource and nugget for people to take away from this call today, and to ask that question: what are you acknowledging yourself for from 2020?
Mm-hmm.
And it's really powerful, as my company is Dare to Declare. It's really powerful to declare it. Yeah. So if you have a trusting person, a partner, a friend, a relative, someone that you trust, that you can declare it and say, I just want to do this with you. So I'm going to acknowledge myself. Can you listen to that? And then invite them to do the same. If you don't have that person, or you don't feel comfortable, the second thing that you can do is write it down, journal it. So what is it? So I know, what is it that I'm acknowledging myself for 2020, and write down, list all the amazing things that you've accomplished and that you feel really proud about. Mm-hmm. When you do that, you create the feelings and the energy that promotes the law of attraction, which then creates this vision for your future, and you get to create the life. And this is something that Justine and I are so excited to share in our group coaching program starting in January. Mm-hmm. So we're going to continue to show up here regularly. So watch for our lives. We're going to continue to drop in these kinds of nuggets and resources for you leading up to the group coaching program. But we would love to talk with you. So Justine, how can they get a hold of you?
You can find me on Facebook as Justine Gallivan or Justine Gallivan Coaching. Either of those pages are mine. And I also have a J Gallivan Coaching on Instagram or LinkedIn, for that matter. But I am accessible and easy to message, so do get in touch.
And we would love to talk with you. Again, free coaching call, free conversation to dig in a bit deeper into some of these. So if you want us to be your person, that you want to declare your acknowledgement of 2020, we'd love to hear it. And you can message us, or you can set up that call, and you can share that with us. We'd love to hear. So, and for me, you can go to my website, dare2declare.com. And also that's where the link for the group coaching is. So is there anything else around that, Justine, you want to talk about?
Yeah, the thing that I would say about the group coaching and the intention for the new year is to say that just as we've reflected on all that 2020 has been, all these notable things, all that can be acknowledged for, I think my challenge is think about what you want to have said by the end of 2021. Think about what it is that you're looking to create next year. And I encourage you to check out the group coaching as a bit of a jumpstart to get what it is that you want to set for 2021, and be intentional and really press into it. And we believe wholeheartedly that is one of the first things that is so important in getting what you want and really, really accomplishing it. So yeah, check it out. And I hope to see you there.
Beautiful, beautifully said. All right, so have a lovely rest of your day. And like I said, we'll be on again and chatting soon. So cheers. Bye, everyone.